God, it's Tuesday, pull up a seat, talking Commanders football, drinking our whiskey neat. First Amendment sports, Ken, Kevin, and Tim. Don't muff it up, fellas, hail to the Redskins. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday. Here on First Amendment Sports.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday night on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
And thank God it's Tuesday, 7th in a row. I'm very thirsty, Ken. Very, very thirsty.
Well, we're very consistent. Again, we talked about it last week. At this point in time, losing this many games simultaneously and consecutively all at the same time, it's hard. It gets pretty hard to do. Obviously, we don't see our team and think of it as a bad one or one that's just one that you would be surprised or one that you would expect to hear has lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, I don't think we're that bad.
But we have, which
we did that.
We can talk a little bit more about that. I mean, the Broncos game, second week in a row, we went to overtime. Second week in a row, came up empty. I loved the game. I hate myself for loving that game. I love that game. I hate losing. I don't want to be 3-9. Everything about that game to me, except for the final score at the end, it was just. It spoke. How about this? It spoke to me.
That game spoke to you?
That game spoke to me.
Because you know who was speaking to me during that whole goddamn game? The biggest, I can't do it with Collinsworth anymore. First time all year I turned it down. The whole fourth quarter, I was done. I was finished. 3 hours and 45 minutes of him. I wouldn't let him ruin it, though, because I did like the game as well. I love the way we played. It was a good football game. It was a very good football game. It was well played on both sides of the ball. It was a good football game. It wasn't some bullshit. It was... God damn it, it was a brutal ending after 3 hours and 45 minutes of listening to that guy. But I did. You know, I was like, damn it, let's freaking win this thing. God dang it.
Couldn't agree more. I was completely emotionally invested in the victory. I would want to talk about I want to talk about this game. Like this is number 7 in a row. And since the first one, we've talked less and less about the previous week to the point of it's like, hey, listen, we've moved on quickly. I want to talk about this game. Like I said, it spoke to me. I liked it. Even what was bad about it works for us, which I think we'll get to in a second segment of the evening, which I have prepared a graphic or two for us to discuss.
We're getting graphic.
But keeping everything in the now and talking only about week 13/week 14, the Washington Commanders gutted at the end of overtime against what I've always thought this season is a above average at very minimum Denver Broncos team. A lot to like about their team. Well, we can talk about them another day. I don't know where to start, but I guess you have to start with Marcus Mariota. What the hell, dude?
What, seriously, you freaking nerds! What are you doing? Why? Like what in the shit?
Someone was like, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was a top overall draft pick. He played for multiple teams. He had a show about himself on Netflix. At this point, and we've all said his name the same way. And out of nowhere, Chris Collinsworth comes up with Mariota.
Hey, Ricca was complicit. He was doing those T's the same ass way. I was like, are you guys effing kidding me?
I don't know, dude.
This is not golf. I couldn't bear, and I can't bear him being like after the 37,000th Mariota, whatever the freak.
Mariota.
How many?
Mariota.
Then he's like, well, it's fourth down here. They could run it, they could pass it, or they could punt it. And I was like, I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. I'm gonna kill this guy. No one has ever mansplained football to me in quite the fashion. This guy talks through the play. Everything they say in the internet that he does, that's what he does. And as a freaking Skins fan, you guys know we were all tormented listening to his ass. Anytime we did something good, he was still talking about Sean Payton and his staff or how good. And that guy. And anyways, Mariota. I forgot.
Mariota.
You just Rodney Harrisoned me. I forgot the question.
I forgot about it too.
I froze up. And,
I mean,
and was that gummy related? Honestly,
I don't know what happened because where that came from, and he kind of like it's like a sneaky uppercut to Glass Joe's jaw, because I even didn't have the conversation right away. I thought about it constantly throughout the game, but it wasn't a comment I made. I don't know everyone was making comments about it, but then all of a sudden, like as the week went on, I'm like, that's just so weird. It's like, so I'm 25% Spanish, which no one would ever guess or care. It would be like if every time I said like a Mexican or Spanish word, I did all the enunciations.
And
guacamole. I mean, if every time I just randomly just dropped in like a hard
Joaquin Núñez. But listen, if that's what someone in his family who speaks the native tongue calls him, that's fine. But I don't need to imitate that person's version of that man's name. If he says, I want you to say my name like a douchebag, I have the right to be like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect you, Marcus Mariota, but you're not going to get me to emphasize the wrong syllable. You're not going to get me to do that.
No, he hit it hard. And I think that for a 30-plus-year-old quarterback who's not someone no one knows, if his name's going to be pronounced differently, like we would be in the know. There'd be a memo. People would be talking about it. Local reporters would start saying it. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, it was just a whole weird thought process about that one thing about Collinsworth. That's what spurred it on.
Yes.
But the idea is Marcus Mariota had himself a night.
So we're going to continue to say it the way we've always said it.
Always.
Good.
I think so. Again, like I haven't heard from
and he did
Mariota.
Have a good night.
But anyways.
But he did have a good night, and he did great things, man. He's solid as shit. He needs a little bit more around him than the guy, obviously, Jaden.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But still, it's so cool watching him play.
He's very good.
Yeah, he was very good. It was very cool watching him play the other night. We had a legitimate competitor at quarterback that I thought could win.
We could win. We could absolutely. We could have
against a good team.
He hasn't been, I don't believe. It's certainly across all 7 games as a whole, but individually across the games that he's played in the losses, I don't think you can't pin any of them necessarily on him or his play. It's the perfect. I know everyone sees the record and sees the step back from the NFC Championship game from last year, and that's fine. But there's something to be appreciated about what we have done roster-wise, because this is like a perfect backup quarterback offensive coordinator scenario. I mean, if you remember the preseason, we talked about it. Like Cooper Rush was the backup for Lamar Jackson. And I'm watching preseason games. I'm like, why is Cooper Rush the backup quarterback for Lamar Jackson? That makes no sense at all.
We're going to run a new offense, boys.
Yeah. Well, he's not.
Cooper's in the huddle.
He was there for a second, and he's gone.
Right,
but
can we get someone else in here?
Yeah. So you're seeing we're getting, even though we're not seeing it in the win-loss column, we are getting the benefit of a amazing front office, plot. I mean, they put these guys together. We are looking okay. You can only imagine without Jaden Daniels how you should probably look. I mean, the heart that he played with, obviously, in addition to like the smarts, he threw it quickly. He threw it to the right spot,
and we were able to throw the ball quickly because we had 17 back on the field. Mm-hmm. A guy that you cannot just get up and press. You can't just lay off. What a difference maker that guy is. And I was so happy to get to watch Redskin football with 17 in the mix. We are a completely different ball club when he's out there healthy. And I like that he was on a bit of a pitch count because he was winded. And what the fuck's wrong with our field, Ken?
So the new sod, I'm glad
I watched
you brought
him fall
it up
3 times, and I can't watch him fall one more time like that. Those are brutal ACL causing slips.
Oh yeah,
that's brutal to watch our guy do that. Oh my god!
I can only.
I don't know why I'm yelling at you.
No, because you're
the turf guy.
We made a big deal about it, and it's
it got replaced and it was shitty.
They spent the money and it did not take, and it wasn't clearly it was for whatever reason, and I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because this is exactly what Snyder didn't do. He looked at a 3-9 team and he's like, why am I going to spend $200,000 on new turf when we're not even going to need it for the playoffs? And he didn't, and that's the year RG3.
By the way, that stadium's surrounded by turf farms. There's turf farms.
Yeah, it's like the cash crop of Maryland. Turf. It's literally what we do. I didn't like seeing that either. A lot of divots. Looked like we were out there.
Oh my God.
All of it. It was bad. But both teams thankfully had to deal with it, and I like to see it take a little bit more hold for December and January.
You would hope so.
Having the touchdown play where I believe we lined up. I believe there was a timeout taken by them, and because McLaurin was out. He was out for that play, and they went to the sidelines, and he was able to get in on that play, and they you could see the trainer or the assistant, one of the assistant coaches was looking over at Cliff and Dan, and he was pointing at Terry and Debo, and he's like, yeah, they're going to be in, they're both in on this play. So having him on the field, you can't undersell it. Because 96 yards, a bunch of targets. I think at one point he had 13 targets with 6 catches.
He was a badass going up against, and I know they're both coming off that, but I don't give a damn.
Sertain is tops.
You want to compete? Let's go, and that's what he did, and that's what he does for us.
Yeah,
and you can't quantify what it does for that sidelines when he's out there making big plays.
Yep.
He's a team leader. Him being out there is such a difference. I don't care who's at the quarterback position; it's a major factor for us, and it's going to be super cool if we get to see all these guys healthy down the home stretch and see what could have been offensively that really never unfolded this season. So we'll see.
As a dad who coaches kids in meaningless, sports that obviously meaningful for the kids to have an experience, but in the grand scheme of things mean nothing. It's like having Terry. You want to have an impactful receiver, which you're getting with him, but there's something else that he brings, and I think any dad who's ever coached a team of any kind can understand this. When you have a matchup, you're playing 7-on-7, and you have to play you have to play one of your better players a quarterback. Well, then that's going to put their best defender on whoever's left is your best wide receiver. So now I'm trying to find ways to put anyone else a quarterback so that I can kick my best player back out into the field and make that best defender follow him. And then as a trickle effect all the way down the line, that the other team has to decide, how they're going to match up. And you get matchup issues. If you could put Debo and Terry, both out there, because Sertain, otherwise, if you watch the way they lined up, Sertain was on Debo for the play that they were calling. And then the timeout happened and they came out on the field. Terry comes in, Sertain switches over to Terry. And obviously they were able to get the pick play run off. But I mean, clearly, now you have Debo Samuel on someone not named Patrick Surtain all of a sudden magically. It's huge.
And when he's the ultimate competitor, I mean, people, it infuses everyone's innards. Do you like that? Infuses everyone's innards.
Infused innards.
I don't even know. I've never even
said.
I've never even said infused or innards. Maybe before ever. I think I'm definitely having a Rodney Harrison scenario.
Okay. Yeah.
And we skimmed over it but real fast. Was it gummy related?
Well, you're talking about Rodney Harrison?
Yes.
Okay, so giving him the fullest benefit of the doubt, and I can honestly say I've read nothing about it since it happened. I've thought nothing except about it since. Right. So I've been thinking about it a lot. It's my benefit of the doubt scenario is and we have this effect when we're doing the WCAC basketball tournament. We're in that big, wide open gym. We talk into the microphones with our headsets on. It's like, great. If you take your headset off in that gym, I'm standing right here.
Yeah.
I can't hear a word you're saying. Yeah. And I think, so there's definitely part of that. And he was wearing the full head covering. So I'm going to, the best benefit of the doubt you can give him is that he literally couldn't hear anything anyone was saying. And so he wasn't queued up for whatever he was supposed to be talking about.
So it was gummy related.
So that's being generous. The physicality of him, in addition to everything, tilted into the gummy zone scenario.
I think he was in the gummy zone, and I was giggling because it happened. Like you said, it happens to us. I wasn't being judgy. I wasn't. Oh, how dare he freeze up as a human being in front of 9 billion people? It's an impossible thing. And yes, you have 9 million things going on, but he just looked. He had that look to him.
It happened more. It was multiple times, right?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
It was like, and then it was in his head.
Yeah.
Then it was like, you know how it goes. Like,
oh yeah,
hide me.
I did a radio interview with Danny Rouillet and whoever, and CJ and those guys like 10 years ago or more. Maybe it was like 11 years ago. And it was like a drive time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever, hang out. I was on the phone hanging out with these guys talking about, Redskins was with Hawks Haven. I lost them a couple times, you can't put your radio on because that's the oldest thing. You got to turn your radio down. So I had no idea what I was talking about or what they were talking about, and it sounded like I was on one at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I could just literally, looking back, I could remember hearing Danny Ricca being like, "All right," well, and he tries to. I mean, I did. So I wanna be in Rodney's corner. The best, but I understand.
I'm in his corner.
Yeah.
He's a human being. I wasn't talking any shit. I'm just saying all that stuff going on, and he's so good. Like everyone's like, but he's done this. He's done this so many times. It was not his first rodeo, and he looked like he tried to reach for the 10s, and the 40 had stumbled in there by accident. That's all.
So the other thing now, I feel like since we talked about like the best benefit of the doubt scenario. Like, let's talk about the reality part of the scenario. He was one of the most physical players in the league that the leagues haven't seen, and he didn't just play like that for the New England Patriots. He probably played that when he was playing pound ball all the way like 50 and 60, 75 pounds. He's destroyed his body while destroying other people's bodies. Right. And I hope he's pain-free, and I hope he's comfortable, and I hope he's healthy. But for God's sake, like those guys, I mean, they just aren't healthy.
No, I get it.
And they're in pain all the time.
I'm just hoping he had infused his innards.
He had some infused innards. I think I'm going to go ahead and agree. Probably, I got to lean on that side. If you're like betting money, obviously, I think that's the way you got to go.
I think so.
Is he in trouble?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen anything like he's been suspended.
No, he was on the post game. I mean, I think things really calmed down.
Post game happened. It happened again in the post game. I was watching it.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I was watching it. It happened to be on the back, and I was like, I looked back up, and I was like,
I thought I read that.
It happened again.
I mean.
Anyway, what's his face? Is that Collinsworth kid, right? The son, Collinsworth, whatever.
I want to open hand. Well, I'm sorry. What
he handled it well. Tony Dungy is not. I mean, he'll handle everything with grace.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't. If anyone's going to look and sound like they have no idea what's going on, it should be the tiny little 85-year-old old coach in the middle, who looks like he shouldn't be out in this kind of cold. Not Rodney Harrison.
Yeah, he was. He stone cold just started after like he what, I'm sorry, what were we talking about? Then the next question he was like, guys, I'm sorry, and I was like, man, he's having a full freak out. I felt bad for him. I wasn't judging him.
No, I know. I felt bad for him too, and I was hoping for the best. I was like, I hope it.
It could have been yesterday's, and it's just like he hasn't really fully recovered yet. But our man was he was up against it, and. Listen, you and I have both been there on a way, way, way tinier level.
Sure, yeah,
yeah. We know how it feels to be in front of like 37 people with your pants just wrapped around your ankles, taut. That's tough. It sucks.
It's tough. Mario Ta. Adam Amin and Drew Brees this week, says Greg Martin. I like them. I watched. I think they did the Rams game, which actually turned out to be. I mean, the Panthers. Shouldn't have won, but they did.
Who did that game?
I think Drew Brees and Adam Amin and Drew Brees did the Rams game this past week.
Whoever was with Watt, I love the dude that did play-by-play this week.
JJ Watt?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I watched that game. I just thought that dude was awesome.
Is it Ian Eagle?
I don't know. Maybe. He was great. He was very good. We talk crap about people all the time, but I thought he was very good. And I love. Who'd you say we got this week? That's what we got?
That we have. You're right, Luke. When you're right, you're right. We have Adam Amin and Drew Brees.
I was trying to tell him I looked weird.
Check it out, Luke. One button push from the producer. And we're there.
What?
That does look better. I didn't know I thought it was just dark. Our director lives in Fairfax, so sometimes he's got to do the signals, and they have to light the torches, and it has to get all the way here. It's tough sometimes. Adam Amin and Drew Brees. Drew Brees.
Thank you, sir.
Remember about.
I love Drew Brees.
The game. I think what he said about Matt Stafford. The coolest thing I heard him say. He was merciless on the Saints quarterback, but I think he called Matthew Stafford the purest passer he's ever seen.
That's pretty awesome because it just comes off his hand differently, but I guess purest passer is different than like where they're giving Rodgers arm strength and some of the throws he can make, but that's sick. Stafford is so good. That was a damn good game. I watched that game.
Stafford gave it away, unfortunately, and it wasn't necessarily always his fault because he got beat. He was a 37-year-old dude. He put the ball on the ground. That was a problem. It wasn't interceptions; it was fumbles. But I'm glad we don't have to play them. I think as the season wears on, I'm trying to like think of not a team that I want to root for necessarily because I can't play that game in the NFL because I only like one team.
You don't want a side team? You saw the Dr. Pepper commercial?
I saw that.
Yeah,
There's no
There's no side team.
You can't have a side team. You can enjoy football.
Agreed. And you can have teams that you like watching.
Yeah, and you can bet on anyone you want and root for them for that reason.
Well, that's side piece right there.
But there's no emotional side piece in the NFL. It's the NFL itself. Let's see. So okay, we talked about Marcus, talked about Terry, a little bit about Debo. I guess Zach Ertz's name comes to mind. I think he got beat up, and I think a little unfairly. He had 10 catches. He played hard. He played tough. I mean, you watch it in slow motion on 65 inches of him, diving in the air and getting hit by a linebacker and going headfirst into the softest turf of the season. It still was incredibly violent. It's a tough job. He'll be part of our second segment conversation. But I thought he had a great night. I thought he was again a guy that the defense had to account for all night long, and for the most part, he was effective.
No, there's no doubt about it. There's so many guys that were. It was just that I think with that magic of Jaden, it's a little bit different in these close games, Ken. I was coming down to the end. Like TR, I agree. I like the call at the end. Mariota has to just get that ball up in the air, just hook shot it, double pump, turn around and throw it over here, whatever you got to do. But, hey, man, last year in 2024, guys, in games decided by 6 points or less, we were 9-1. This year it's been 3 of them, and we're 0-3.
Yeah.
It's been very tough. This 7-game skid started with that brutal loss of the Bears. Then we got the shit kicked out of us for 4 weeks and set an NFL record for most consecutive 21-plus point losses.
Yeah.
Now 2 back-to-back overtime games.
Dude, think about that.
But if anybody knows how to take this on, it's this fan base right here.
It doesn't even feel as bad because you tell me we set the record, the NFL record for most 21-plus point losses consecutively.
Yep.
I would tell you this would be like the last Redskins team I would expect to have accomplished that, given what we've seen over the years. So I don't know why these guys, at least for my one vote, probably for our votes, why they get such a pass on this, but they do, and we can talk about that more. But I mean, it is a unique flavor of 3-9, and I think we should allow ourselves the talk of what's going on in our minds as Washington football fans in those seconds where the ball is yet to be snapped on the 2-point conversion attempt. I think we agree that from a momentum perspective, a tired defense perspective, the fact that we just scored perspective, going for 2 has a lot in its favor. Not to mention, you don't have to factor in, playoff implications whatsoever. And then, some coaches do at this point of the season. We just don't have to be one of them. So you're thinking to yourself, I'm guessing, because I was, I want this. I want this so bad. So bad.
We've effing lost 6 in a row. We're not going to lay back with a new snapper, a new kicker, and rely on them to get us tied again after the offense just gashed us on the final drive. No, go win. After 6 weeks in a row, no playoff implications, go get a goddamn win.
Yep.
At home in front of the fan base.
That's how you play. That's how you play the game.
Anybody that's pissed about that, just take your fan card and go somewhere. Go somewhere else.
But those same people, they want to have a heart attack about that decision, and yet they want to talk about they're just rooting for losses because they want a better draft pick. And I'm thinking when Benito, who and I know most people know who he is, just because of how good he is. He is not a secret anymore. He's making a lot of money, and he's making plays on one of the best defenses in the league. But he's been around for a hot second. It's not like the whole design of the play was somehow, some way, get the ball around and unblocked Benito. That's a hard job. That's the job. When he blocked it and it went down, I'm just watching Marcus. And that's all I'm watching. I didn't even know how open McNichols was going to be.
I didn't either till today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he could have turned around and trucked it over his shoulder and it would have been just fine.
Honestly.
But
It's easy. It's
easier said than done.
It's not happening.
It's one of the
happening
best
at the rate of a photograph.
with one of the baddest ass defensive ends in the universe bearing down on you
so quickly.
Who's there for a reason with like one of the longest sets of arms in the league. He's there for a reason, and it worked for Denver. And
as a quarterback, they tell you that is on you. That guy coming free, he's your responsibility. Whatever you got to do, get the ball around him, over him, under him,
pump
whatever.
it this way, that way, yeah.
And on that play, you got to do whatever you can. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed in that one play of his.
Yep.
But I'm sure we all felt the same exact nut punch right there.
Yep.
But God dang it, that's on him. He knows it. He earns it. He always owns everything, and he played great.
Yep.
But we need 5 back. That's all.
Interesting, like post of it happening thought. So I'm in the moment. Want it to happen. It doesn't happen in a very like clear fashion. Like
we just slapped your balls.
It's
you lose.
not happening.
You lose. We slapped your balls down. You're the loser.
We made it not
I was
happen.
like, God damn it. It's been 3 hours and 50 minutes of Collinsworth. My balls are dead. They're numb by now. They're numb by this point.
It was so final, and aside from obviously being disappointed that we lost, it was super final. Like at the end of overtime, Benito bats the ball down. It's over. That's the game. And I immediately, one of my immediate thoughts was that this stupid 2-point conversion attempt that Benito batted down is going to be talked about, because it would have been this play would have been talked about. I should have said, my thought was after it happened, I was like, whether they made it or not, that's the kind of play that gets talked about for decades in terms of draft. Now I understand people don't want to talk about draft. I love draft. And that's because this happened to us. You know, that's how we moved around in the draft. It was a famous game against the Dolphins when it benefited us because of a decision they made. It happened to the Giants. It cost
the Giants helped us as well. We need a lot
yes.
of shit to go down.
Random stupid. So you can't. It's not in the moment that you think about it. It's in the post moment that you think about it, because we're all football fans. We know this. We see it. We watch it. We hear it. That's what the story is. When someone's on the clock and it's like they get Peyton Manning instead of Ryan Leaf, it probably there's going to be a whole piece about how there was a 4th and 1, you know, like some stupid play that went the way it could have or should have or didn't or might have. And so anyways, it being 3-9, interestingly, at the end of Sunday night, after the Jets won for whatever reason, moved us into position. I want to talk about, I want to talk a little bit about the implications of our loss and in terms of our roster, and then I want to do Greg Martin's Christmas movie villain. All
right. Well, this loss will forever be known for decades as the ball slapper. Is that what we're going to go with? Can we say that we put
the ball slapper? Yeah, absolutely.
We put our hand on that.
Yeah, and not Infused Innards. I like Infused Innards. Infused Innards is a great band name.
I'm not sure how that came to be. I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah.
I appreciate some of you guys. Also, I might need to see a doctor.
Let's go with this. All right, here we go. I don't understand. All right, here we go. All right. I don't do that. What do we got? Oh, Robert Cohen, position 6th. Correct. That is right. We're going to throw that up there. We are position 6 in the current draft order, and I thought this would be, first of all, let me take you back. Look at this one we did. I still had it on there. Top 10 space movies. That I forget when even that was. That was a long time ago. Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if there's anything.
I don't know if I was involved in this.
You had to have been involved in this. All right. We had this was our off-season. Probably we'll save that. We'll come back for that. We'll be right back. And we're back. Remember this one? This was a little, it doesn't get any better than this. Nothing to Cobain about.
Yep,
These are our quarterbacks. All right, so here we are for tonight, and we have, let's see, the 6th pick in the draft. So I have 4 players here and I'm going to go in reverse order of my current scenario with them. Because like if you're in fantasy football, this is the same way you'd be in fantasy football. If you say I have the 4th pick, I pick 4 players. Like these are the 4 players I love the most. Whichever one of those guys is there, when I pick it 4, I'm taking them, and I'll be super happy. So at number 6, now we had to pick 6 players. I'm going to say maybe we get a quarterback or 2 involved. But here are the top currently
2 of the top 6 drafted will be quarterbacks. We only need 4.
We only need 4. These are my 4 today. And I'm not giving any rings tonight here, Kev. This is just I'm looking for Mr. Right Now. Not Miss, you know what I'm saying?
So 2 knees, not 1.
That's right.
Saying, yes.
There you go. Greg, not draft talk, football player talk. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State wide receiver, stud, currently the number 1 prospect wide receiver in the draft. He's going to be a top 10 pick. He's somebody we can actually start thinking about getting. I can't say that I've watched a ton of Jordan Tyson film, so I'm not going to say that. I just know that he's the man right now. He's the man. We'll see because the Ohio State guys I don't think are coming out.
Your boy Nick Saban said this weekend on game day he is the premier wide receiver in the United States of America. Yes.
There you go. And he's the guy who knows.
He's seen a couple.
That's a dude who we can potentially put our eyes on. Now, this is another guy I'll say. This next 2 are tied, and they play for the same team. This guy, number 8, Arvell Reese from Ohio State. I know that there's a I think people like that Miami kid, Bain, and a couple other dudes. I like this guy. He's 6'4". He's just a beastly, athletic athlete. He plays multiple positions, including edge rusher whenever you want him to do it. He's one of the best edge rushers when he does it. Obviously, he starts on day 1 for us in the middle of our defense or wherever on our defense. He's a stud. He's going to be drafted in the top 5, top 6 players, I believe. So, again, a guy who you could put in burgundy and gold. And I'll give you this player, Kevin. Then I just want to know of the 3, just based on early vibes of these 3 guys. This is Caleb Downs, the safety, defensive back, whatever you call him, at the next level. Another just alpha athlete, comparative to Ed Reed. I don't like to use the name of our guy, but because it's different. But
he's different.
He's a stud. He'll be drafted in top 5 or 6 players.
He's the superstar.
So again, we're not doing in-depth prospect analysis. We just know if we're drafting in the top 6, which currently we are, we know that we can legitimately say we're going to get one of these guys. If we stand pat it, we're not going to talk about.
If we stand pat.
Yes,
I know. We'll just trade down. Yeah. Although Adam Peters is pretty damn good at it. We'll see.
That's right. So of those 3, one or the other, Caleb, Arvell, or Jordan Tyson, if you had to pick between those 3.
I'm going to go ahead and take Caleb Downs because I think he's going to have the most impact on the defensive side of the football. He's a guy that forces turnovers. We were promised forced turnovers. We didn't get them. Let's go get a guy that will certainly bring those with us. And I know we need certain help. I don't know if I need a rookie edge. Let's go get an edge who's got a little edge to him in this league.
Yep.
And I would take Caleb Downs to be a effing playmaker for the good guys.
Caleb Downs has been consistently my number 1 choice, and then with knowing full well that we may not be high enough to get where he's gonna be drafted. Although year after year, safeties come in higher as higher prospects and fall in the draft because of their safeties. This guy right here, Jeremiah Love, he's my current number one. This is a crazy I don't know if you would even call this a luxury pick. He might be the best player in this entire draft. He's being compared to everyone you want them to compare running back to. He elevates an offense on day 1. I love him. So I think Caleb Downs helps solve the biggest problem for us as we stand right now. I'll go get off these guys. Obviously putting a generational talent on the defensive side of the ball is something that would be, kind of a big deal for us.
Defensive side of the ball talent is specifically at a premium for us. Yes,
huge premium. Yes. So I don't know that we have the ability to go Jeremiah Love, but I would have a hard time. Writing a different name down. I think he. But you. It's not like I was some savant or anything, but you remember how much I love Jahmyr Gibbs and how I knew we couldn't take him. There was no way we could take him. We couldn't justify drafting him. We had.
It's the same reason why we can't take.
I know. It's killing me because these guys can't miss guys.
Just tweet them at X and share your feelings. Say how you feel.
But if you knew would you go back and draft Jahmyr Gibbs? How many teams would have taken Jahmyr Gibbs who passed on him?
We can go back and redo
Yeah.
all the drafts and find guys that we should have, could have, would have.
Just that one guy.
It'll be different from last year to this year. You never know. Of course, everyone loves Jahmyr Gibbs. Of course, this guy could be a superstar. But right now, we got number 5 with 2 years left.
I know.
And nothing on defense to speak of.
Well, we have $100 million. If we can somehow, some way, because the draft happens after free agency, so the primary need could change depending on resources invested. I don't know. And that, speaking of that, that takes me to the last one, and we're done with college players. Greg, so we'll get Jeremiah Love off there. Oh, God, I think it's gonna be great. Here is, and I'm sorry for the size there. These are our 22 free agents to be in 2026. It's a decent list, and there's some age right away. And obviously, is what you expect. There's some easy goodbyes. Thank you for your services for sure on this. Debo Samuel, Bobby Wagner, Marcus Mariota, and Zach Ertz. Von Miller's not coming back here. I don't think. Let's not even worry about that. But let's just. I would extend Marcus Mariota today.
Of course.
If I could.
That's a no-brainer.
Bobby Wagner, he's still, the thing is, he's still producing. It's hard to say, like, you just don't want him around.
Nah, it's true. But watching him against Evan Engram on that route, it was tough.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a top 5 tackler, and you don't just replace that type of production. So everyone that bitches about him in coverage has to understand. Most middle linebackers get screwed by Evan Engram in coverage, and I don't give a shit who you are. Did look ugly, though. You can't get beat in that situation that badly. Maybe we can't be in that look. I don't know. There's things that have to be planned around him because he makes this defense go when it goes.
Yep.
And I don't know how I feel. I would have to watch a little film on him and see if he. But watching him in coverage was tough. But not having him tackle between the tackles could be tougher. Pick your poison.
Yep. I just want to. I feel like I struck a nerve with Mr. Horsey, our main man, TR. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying every once in a while there is a running back that is deserving of the first round pick, and they're worth their weight in gold. We talked about, you always talk about Eugene Chen, Kevin, and I agree with you.
I think he works for Best Buy now. Best Buy.
The
Christmas gig.
I agree with the philosophy that you get the best running back that you can at age 21, 22 in the draft, and hope that you can ride him for 3 or 4 years and then do it again. So yeah, that kind of value is great, and it compounds the value of Jaden on his contract. So, but what about this? Sorry, I don't just. I think TR, you're right. I mean, most people don't want to do first round running backs, and that's fine. But some guys, Jonathan Jones, by the way, has been kind of impressing me with his heart. I think there's probably a dozen Jonathan Jones kind of guys out there.
No, but
in the offseason,
dude, he's a guy that started so many games up in New England. He's a great backup to have. Great veteran guy. He's perfect for culture and bring him back for nothing. I have no problem bringing him back.
That's the thing. If some of these guys are able to come back at cut rate,
we're getting some of them. I don't think it's not going to be like it's been the last 2 years.
Because at what point does Bobby Wagner take that backup spot?
I don't think he ever does.
So because there's a team out there who would start him at middle linebacker tomorrow.
Of course, but he's not. He can pick and choose what he wants to do, where he would fit, what his role is. He's so well respected in this league. He's going to be told up front what it is or what it isn't as well.
It'll be a matter of how much he wants to stay here. Like, because if you do end up going with one of these top, if you do, like, for example, you trade back in the first round and you still get one of the top 2 or 3 linebackers in the draft, obviously that's a message to Bobby Wagner in terms of his role. But he also, I think, we would still want him.
It's Luvu year 3 as well. His final year. Next year is Luvu's final year under contract. They came to play with each other. I can see a scenario where they can make it work for one more year, but we're going to need some help, and we're going to need, and it doesn't have to be him playing every down. You know what I mean? That might be helpful. we'll see.
I was ready to totally give TR all of it, but he's saying if we had a top 15 defense, go with the first round running back. All right, there's something. I'm happy with that. That's good. That's good middle ground.
We want a guy that takes it off of our guy's shoulders in the backfield. And right now it's been done by a group, and I like our group, but I have no problem upgrading.
Austin Eckler. I think if you look at these names,
I
the
think
names
Austin
that you
Eckler is. I think that might be it for old.
For sure.
Eckler.
And some of these guys are not just done here; they're done. They're done playing, football for good. So I don't know if that's good or bad. But the thing about this list is, like, you have to field a team of 53 every week. So, and a lot of these guys were signed to make sure that we could. So, we're going to have to bring in a whole new batch. And so how do you do better? I mean, Andrew Wiley, I don't,
a new batch. We
got a whole new batch of these guys.
We're whipping up a whole new batch.
Yeah. A whole new batch of Noah Browns and Jake Martins and Josh Johnsons.
Well, I think that batch, that's blank. We're shooting blanks on that one. Poor Noah B.
Like to see.
We hardly knew you.
Is Wise? How much does Wise get paid to come back? These are
all right. That's a guy I'm bringing back.
I think so too, and I don't think he's gonna break your bank.
No, not at all. But that doesn't mean we don't have to upgrade at that spot. It just means he's perfect for depth at that spot.
Yeah. So I think this is like the cool part of the evolution of the roster from year 2 to year 2 to year 3 under this regime with Dan Quinn and Adam Peters. If you talk about having to rely so heavily on these 1-year contracts year in and year out, and the journeymen at the end of the bench, but good names and good games, but Bobby Wagner and Austin Eckler and to some extent Andrew Wiley and some of these guys, these are players on the backside of their career.
Did he say adios Wiley?
Did we say adios?
Well, I mean, not yet, but he's not around. Allegretti's got one more year though.
Allegretti's got one more year. I mean, you look at this.
I like Greg Martinson talking about Chris Paul. Chris Paul's been a badass.
Chris Paul's someone I think you have to bring back. He's going to cost a whole lot more than he has been.
Our offensive line was badass the other night against that defense. They're talking about the edge rushers. Our 2 tackles held up great. And Connolly's getting a lot of love today, and I think he earned it. Tunsil's been a badass. There's some cool things in place for next year. There's some cool things in place to be excited about. But we learned our lesson. We're not going to be talking about no goddamn Super Bowls and shit.
No, but
GD.
The natural kind of marriage of this postseason, or I should say off-season business that we bring up is, because we don't have our 2nd and 4th round pick, but there's not a single team in the league who wouldn't burn a 2nd and a 4th to have a starting left tackle.
Of course.
Perennially ranked in the top 7 at his position, perennially in the top 100 of players as voted on by the players. For a 2nd and 4th to have that in place, it's pretty good. It's pretty strong.
We did a show laughing about how he wasn't going to come in here and be a guy that was going to be a culture guy and a leader guy. We were wrong. He has been that in spades. That's all anyone's talked about, and how he's taken over the captaincy of that offensive line group, and they love him, and they've been great. So.
And he is a monster. So we've been as good as Brandon Coleman played at left tackle last year, and as much as we all thought that was a great story. Like Laramie Tunsil is a prototypical franchise left tackle, and he plays for us. And it costs us our 2nd and 4th this year. I'd do that 100 times out of 100. I think we all
anybody
should.
would,
and
especially when we re-sign him. But we'll see.
Especially when we re-sign him, and I, so I keep that in mind as we approach the draft. I think that it makes a lot of sense too. And when you think about the building of the line, Andrew Wiley, all of a sudden because you always have that like last 2 or 3 guys, maybe one's a practice squad guy, but they're kind of like the bottom of the offensive line rotation at the beginning of the season. No idea what their names are, and all of a sudden in week 14 they're like, oh, and we activated Johnny whatever, off the practice squad, and he's starting at right tackle today.
Johnny, you started off great with Johnny, and then you just I was ready for something sick.
Johnny McBlockerson. All right. Well. Either way,
I'll go with whatever.
We didn't even know his name. That's what it was kind of like. He was the name. Like if Andrew Wiley becomes that guy, like if some of these older gents kind of fold themselves back into the bottom parts of the not the dark shady parts, Kev.
Are we
The
talking
nooks and
about
crannies.
effing Andrew Wiley right now? Filling nooks and crannies?
If Andrew Wiley fills a nook or a cranny, just saying that it could be a good situation. I don't know. Lucas Niang, the right tackle, George Fant, Eddie Goldman, Jeremy McNichols, the ageless wonder, 8th year in the league, right? Is that what they're saying? If he wants to keep playing for
all he does is good shit when he's got his hands on the ball.
For minimum wage,
bring his ass back quickly.
He's no dummy. He'll take even a veteran minimum with a plus, with a little like your 20% tip on there. And then his agent will be like, you should take this deal, and he'll be like, I will take it. You know what? Him not making that 2-point catch to win the game, that might have saved us $500,000 in the offseason. Just saying. Try to see the bright side of things is all I'm saying. So 22 free agents. We're not doing the math. We're not cutting anyone or signing anyone right now, but 22 guys that are on our team right now, their contracts are up. That means a different thing. That means 31 guys, roughly speaking, on our side next season. Does that math make math?
Well, plus the 7 or 8 dudes on IR.
Plus the IR guys. So it becomes so we don't need 21-year guys next year. Is the thing I'm saying.
Exactly. Hopefully based on the draft.
Hopefully
maybe guys like Treylon Burks. How about that? One of the baddest ass catches we've ever seen in the burgundy and gold.
Everyone, I mean,
it would be so cool if we could get anything out of him as a backup wide receiver. We're not asking him to fill in the number 2 role. We're not.
A guy like
that would be
a talent like that. It's just about talent. At the end of the day, you just want talent on your team.
And he seems talented. Like a guy that is got a good attitude. He had surgery on that finger apparently a couple days ago.
Yeah,
you know that he went up there. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And
he should have had.
If we could get something out of him, that would be a really, really big deal because you're talking about having Lane and Luke coming back in year 2 and 4, or 2 and 3, and then this guy shows up out of nowhere. If he can do anything, I don't think Debo's around next year, but
I'm more and more. Especially as my like appetite moves more to like a running back than a wide receiver. I'd rather have a running back I could flare out to the flat than have a wide receiver I could hand it off to. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
No. Not at all.
Okay.
Not in a million years.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to make the case for. If Treylon Burks, who was a first-round pick, I believe, he was the guy who was supposed to take A.J. Brown's place in Tennessee. Like that was the whole plan. He's been kind of not laughed out, but he kind of not taken seriously because apparently like he didn't take things seriously. I mean, he was. If you think about the pecking order of wide receivers, like we took that guy Robbie Chosen before we took Treylon Burks, I believe. You know what I mean? Which means the whole league took Robbie Chosen before the whole league took Treylon Burks. If he turns into a guy who can stay on the team because he's a giant. And he
just showed what he can do in the red zone.
Yeah, if
with a guy with the accuracy of 5 and having other weapons all over the place, he becomes the guy that gets singled up by a like you were talking about earlier, non-top 1 or maybe even 2 corner.
Never one of the because Treylon, if he's on the field, he's your number 3 guy. He's not only you still have Terry and somebody else before you get to him.
He's as big as anyone's tight end, and he's a freak, and you just saw what he can do in the red zone. So. I think that could be a big factor for us if we can get a guy like that. We need to sneak a couple guys in like that.
Yep. Well, so I know maybe we'll hear the story, maybe we won't. I'm just be so fascinated to hear what the reporting was that Adam Peters was getting on him because he was a guy who was available for a long time to a lot of people. And what he did the other night, every single team, 31 teams were like, oh, if I knew he could do that, I would have signed him a month ago. Because I could have. They all could have. Anyone could have had him. So if he becomes something and he's indebted to us now. I mean, if he, he's not going to make. No one's going to pay him a ton of money.
No. And I think that was his 2nd touchdown catch.
Yeah, ever.
Well, since he left Arkansas.
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out real quick.
Was that Bobby Petrino's
friend of the show? The former head coach of the University of Memphis, who came on this show with us, Ryan Silverfield, just got
on his way.
The head coach of the University of Arkansas.
I mean,
what he was. He was when I was the OC at Hampton Sydney, he was the student assistant coach. He was going to get the coffee and making the coffee.
Congratulations! So it's really.
I'm so proud of that guy. I'm down here doing basement podcasts with my brother. He should be proud. He should be proud of me too.
We can have. We got to have him back on.
And he coached or was a teammate with T.R. Horsey. How about that? So shout out to Ryan Silverfield, the new head coach of the University of Arkansas. When we drafted Antonio Gibson, which was 5 years ago, maybe 6. Anyways, he came on with us, and remember he went through all the plays.
Called
he
him
ran,
special sauce.
And at the time, he was the head coach at Memphis. He just came on to do a bit with us on Antonio Gibson. And I was like, you're the best dude ever, man.
He was a running back who played wide receiver, right?
He was. So that's what we said. How did you use them? How are we going to use them? What do you foresee in this new And he was showing us what they did with him, how they used them, and it was very similar to what we did. And this guy had a great run under Mike Norvell at Memphis, and he busted his ass in the NFL. Guy's like freaking 5 years younger than me. He's mid-40s right now, and he single-handedly got himself into the SEC with a little elbow grease. Boy, Silverfield.
They get athletes galore.
Treylon Burks
Arkansas
came out of there in the first round. No joke, number 16.
I mean, it's a great coaching spot to recruit. You can be like, hey, you can get people who want to be part of that tradition, especially if you can recruit locally. There's some good spots, but at the end of the day, you'd be like, you're gonna be on national TV every week against somebody. People are gonna be watching you play against somebody. One of these
let's draft someone from Memphis again, and he'll come on again. He definitely will. That'd be fun.
It sucks for Antonio. It sucks for guys like Antonio Gibson because what he was doing for New England was like the perfect job, the perfect gig. He could have done that for another 5 years, like Jeremy McNichols. It was a guy who knew the spot to be, who was a gifted catcher. So he's not going to and for us,
gifted recipient,
gifted catcher of balls. But he, he had to be bell cow for us, and as soon as he wasn't, because that's not what he is, everyone was like, well, this guy sucks. I'm like, well,
he was
not
good
really
for us, I thought.
He was, but he wasn't, 35 carries for 125 yards a game. I mean, I don't know what our expectations were based on. Ryan Silverfield laid it out for us pretty well.
He did.
All right, so that kind of covers I think we kind of cleared the cobwebs from the corners of the room with that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Good thing. We got so much clearing out to do.
We have a lot of cobwebs.
We took care of the kicker corner 3 weeks ago. We got all of our...
By the way, I didn't realize our kicker, Jake Moody, got the award for best kicker in college football. That makes me want him not at all. But because I'm done with college kicking. Did you see the guy from New Orleans, Charlie Smith?
No.
With a Y?
No.
SMYTH. An Irish national.
Stop.
Dude,
stop.
it's like...
No.
He's so
I
fun.
did this with you one night. It's not that much fun to me.
He just showed up to play this week. Some guy from the pubs in Ireland. He was a Gaelic football player.
I'm so proud of him.
He bagged a 56-yarder on his first kick ever.
As all real football players say, these assholes sit in their hotel room playing video games relentlessly. I don't care about their Gaelicness.
It was...
Our gay kicker stunk.
I want more.
Now you're going to just go with Gaelic?
No, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, Kevin. I'm just saying.
Son of a bitch.
He went through all the processes, the immigration, everything, so he could kick a 56-yarder and an onside kick successfully, by the way, in a wholly different style. Someone say Gaelic.
The style of the Gaelic.
The style of the Gaelic. Anyways.
It's the fashion of the Gaelic.
We're done with free agents. We're done with draft. We're done with that. Well, let's talk about Christmas movie villains, Greg, if you can cue that up for us, sir.
Christmas? I like to write
And we
down.
spent a lot of time. We're not going to talk a ton about the Minnesota Vikings. In fact, we're not going to talk a lot about them at all. I kind of liked talking about our team in terms of what they did on Sunday night. I know we lost, and I'm not trying to celebrate a loss. There's no good losses. I'll celebrate what the boys did on Sunday night. I thought that was fun.
No, it was fun.
And we'll see what they do against the Vikings. Obviously, it's not who cares in terms of for either team. I think both teams in this situation need a win. These
you
are
think so? They combined, they've lost 13 of the last 14.
yes.
They've lost 6 of 7. We've lost 7. So here we go.
My daughter.
They're 4-8.
So this is like something's got to give.
I
know you did it.
God damn, I can't stop doing it.
I do it on purpose.
I can't stop doing it. I'm not doing it on purpose. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it either. I'm never doing it. But I'm just saying, if I get there, I know now, and I hate it. Someone has to win this game, is what I'm basically saying. And because of that, a tie comes into factor in this game. It 100% does. Just so you know. I
just forgot. The good news is it's a 1:00 game. The bad news is Ken's calling for a tie.
We finished the last 2 games in regulation tied. Just so we're clear, we have been clawing at that tie. Yes, we've been flirting with the tie for the better half of a month. just so we're clear.
Maybe you're not familiar with the Norwegian definition of skull.
Okay.
I think that means tie.
I
think it means tie. I think they're calling for it. They're going to do that stupid ass skull shit. You can't just steal someone's shit and then be like, skull. No, the Vikings have been around forever. They're not skull.
No, they're not. And
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I think we win this game, but I just want to, again, I'm trying to embrace the reality that I'm living in. And I'm just saying, like, I'm not like doing shtick when I talk. We've ended the last 2 games in a tie, right? In regulation before being finished off in overtime twice in a row. All I'm saying is it's on the table. And these are 2 teams that can really battle each other out to just really grind those gears down.
Ken said we weren't going to talk about Minnesota, and that somehow we're not talking about ties, and he squeezed in some kicker shit.
Yeah.
Greg Martin, take us away.
First round coming all at once. Oh.
You got it. Here it is.
All right.
First matchup. You got it?
The wet/sticky bandits from Home Alone versus the Miser twins from The Year Without a Santa Claus 2. And that's the first matchup.
All right. Well, we're just going to do it as we call it?
Yeah,
well, I'm obviously going with the wet bandits.
Wet bandits all day. I don't know. When did they become the sticky bandits?
Well, they did at the end.
I know, but it was just
when they got all sticky because Macaulay's got them stuck. 6'7".
I am a wet bandits guy all day long. All right, Todd and Margot from Christmas Vacation, know him very well, versus Professor Hinklefrosty.
Professor Hinkle Tinkerton. He was a magician, Ken.
He was a magician.
Remember him and Frosty the Snowman?
Was that who he's saying here? Who's Frosto Hinklefrosty?
Professor Hinkle, his hat,
from Frosty.
His hat brought Frosty alive.
Did he get
and
married?
He tried to recoup the hat. He didn't know because he's a fraud of a magician.
Was his maiden name Hinkle? I was getting
Tinkerton.
that wrong. Yeah,
Tinkerton.
It's Professor.
They just called him Hinkle.
I hated him.
That's why I'm voting for him. Todd and Margot, I get it. They were a neat little side piece of the movie, and it was funny. And she became Elaine.
Was that David Duchovny?
But I remember. Was it Duchovny?
I think it was Duchovny and Elaine.
It was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but I don't remember.
I think it was David. I could be mistaken.
But I'm going Professor. I'm going Hinkle, baby. Because when I was younger, I was like, I hate this guy. He's trying to. Frosty's gonna melt. Like this asshole just wants a magic hat pack. He doesn't care about Frosty in the least. Frosty's a way better dude than you, Hinkle.
I'm trying to think. Am I trying to vote on the villain who I hated the most? Like they evoked the most hate because of their villainry,
Sir,
or am I going with?
You just went
a lovable villain.
You just went legalese, Mr. Strachan on me.
But that's how I'm trained.
No, it's not.
I was trained.
We've been doing all these questions from our guts.
I was sitting closer to T the whole time,
right?
And you didn't see his hands ever.
You've been trained in filibustering, sir.
I have been. I am. I just love the vibe of. I can't put Professor Hinkle on my ballot. I'm going to go Todd and Margot, and I'm going to go for a tiebreaker vote.
Someone's going to have to break up.
Yeah, someone's going to break the tie.
I went Hinkle.
I went Todd and Margot because I just had they were terrible people. So they were good villains.
What's this number 3 matchup, Greg? This is crazy. This is like
Hans Gruber.
This is bonkers. In the first round, these guys are getting into it.
This is a big one. Hans Gruber versus the Abominable Snowman from Rudolph.
Well, I'm going straight up with the Abominable Snow Monster. I'm just saying.
Um,
Bumble or Mumble, whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah, no, I love Die Hard and I love Hans Gruber, but there's no
Me
way.
too.
But
Me too.
Abominable Snow Monster is
He was just eating MFers.
he ate them.
He was just, like, have anyone else seen a bloody ass puppet that just ate a son of a bitch? When I first saw it, I was like, oh. We didn't have any of that shit then.
I remember.
I was like, this man's a monster. He's abominable.
Your mom was like, "Don't worry, they were just elves. Those were just elves and reindeer. Don't worry."
He's bleeding at the mouth. He's a puppet. Mr. Rogers doesn't do this shit. This is bonkers.
It was for real.
Sesame Street, the Muppets. I never saw blood on any of it.
All right, so we got that's a unanimous. Number 4, Frank Cross. I knew he was coming. Versus Krampus. I'm a Frank Cross guy all day. I'll vote for Frank Cross.
Frank Cross, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, you got this? You're keeping track?
Yes, but we didn't figure out 2. We'll get to it. Someone has to vote.
Yeah.
Someone has to break the tie. We're on 4.
Frank Cross is number 4.
Okay. Oh, yeah, got it. I mean, we're on 5. My bad.
Cross. Number 5, Christmas movie villains. Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life versus Burgermeister Meisterburger from Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. Now, I hated Mr. Potter in a very similar way to my hate for Professor Hinkle. Because that was a tough time for America. And Mr. Potter was like sticking it to not just...
Mr. Potter's a douche.
He was sticking it to his fellow Americans.
Burgermeister Meisterburger is this... It's a douchey name. Well,
it is.
It invokes hatred. But I'm voting Mr. Potter due to he's a bigger bag.
I just want everyone to know, like I like Burgermeister Meisterburger. Like when you watch it, it evokes like the whole like his it sounds a little Germany and not Nazi-esque. Like the bad guys, had that whatever. They always like kind of made. I think this was from the 70s, and they kind of made the bad guys have that
9.
Meisterburger. The bad guy's name Meisterburger. So you can kind of read into what you want to read into. I'm going Mr. Potter. He was one hell of a villain. And I always watched, I can't remember the last time I watched that movie where I didn't wonder, like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it again? Is he going to screw over this guy and his family like this one more time? Number 6. Speaking of, Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol, not Scrooge McDuck, whole different scenario, versus Mr. Shirley from Christmas Vacation. Now, we still haven't gotten a tiebreaker from the Todd and Margot. That's so we now have 2 nominees from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Mr. Shirley played by, I believe, Bill Murray's brother, Frank Doyle Murray. I think his name is.
I don't know, but he's great.
Yeah, I think that's Bill Murray's brother. He is a hell of a villain, but it's
Scrooge all day. It's Scrooge all day.
He has a whole movie about him.
It's a 116. They play him tough, but Scrooge comes out on top by about 14. Doesn't cover, but gets the double-digit W.
The real question is, who played Scrooge best?
What's the guy's name?
George C. Scott.
Yes.
Yep.
And is it Alistair or whatever was that? Al. I confuse the other 2 from the other 2 movies. He's the creepy ass old school one that you saw on your grandmother's. You saw on your grandmother's black and white television.
Hell yeah.
Yes, that guy is the screw. I was like, oh my god, I could feel the coldness coming through the rabbit ears of the UHFness. It was sick. It was on channel like U. It
was Brian Doyle Murray. It was Channel U. Yeah. It has to be George C. Scott, I guess. There's so many good ones. But the Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol with Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge definitely is a close second. Where are we at? 7?
Yes.
Scut Farkus. Yes, that's how it's spelled.
Yes.
From A Christmas Story.
True.
Versus Buzz from Home Alone. So I like this matchup because I don't know that we're going to agree on this one.
Well, I wanted to beat the shit out of Scut Farkas.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the hatred.
Oh yeah,
the hatred for him.
But he did get the shit beat out of him
at the end, and
Yeah.
that's only because Ralphie decided to rise up and stop dicking around with him and what was the other kid's name? Dill, something Dill. Grover. Grover Dill. That was a little short
That was a
asshole.
little guy?
They were the two
The hype
biggest
man?
asshole punchable faces of anyone my age in like 1983. Even though it was based in the 50s, it came out in the mid 80s, and I wanted to take the DeLorean back and beat the crap out of those guys. And Buzz was just that. There's like 7 Buzzes in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
Buzz was all over the place.
all over the place.
But Scott, I hated those guys. So you know where I just said
I'm going Buzz. So we need 2 tiebreakers. I
2
know
and 7. We need 2 and 7.
we need
broken.
2 and 7 broken. And while you guys are thinking about that, number 8 is TR Horsey. Break the tie, dude. Break both ties. Number 8 is the Grinch versus Oogie Boogie from the Nightmare Before Christmas.
To me, this is it's the Grinch. It's not even. It's like that was the only easy one. Thank God.
Yeah.
There's some tough ass ones, but that was easy for me. All right, TR, bust out. You got to pick between Todd and Margot, and Hinkle,
and Professor Hinkle,
and then what's number 7 there? Scott Farkas and Buzz.
No,
we already got Hinkle.
Oh, who said Hinkle?
Somebody hankled.
Okay. Oh yeah, TR's. He went Professor. He killed my guy.
Got it.
All right, so TR, you got to close the gap now.
You got Buzz. He got Buzz. So I got it's Hinkle and then Buzz.
Yes.
So we're down to 8.
All right, let's go with the 1-8 matchup. What do you got there for us?
I got the wet / sticky bandits.
Wet Bandits.
So we're going 1-8 here. That's how it's coming back.
Yeah, why not?
All right. I don't want to step on any of Greg Martin's toes. So I imagine that's what he did. So here we go. The Wet Bandit. No, but this is a reseeding scenario. So let Greg tell us.
Greg.
Yeah,
Greg, you set up the second round for us. Let's get a score prediction.
7-10.
Score prediction for the Minnesota Vikings game while Greg lines up.
So I just wrote down the 8 answers. I didn't write down. But they're in the same bracket. So it's wet versus.
What's your score prediction this week?
He said same order. So we going wet versus Hinkle or wet versus Grinch?
Let's just keep it.
My score prediction.
Down the line. Let's go 1 versus 2, 2, 3 versus 4, and
like
so
that.
On.
The way it was asked. All right. So wet bandits versus Hinkle. I think we've got a wet bandit.
Wet
scenario.
Bandits. Put the Wet Bandits through.
All right. Wet is where it's at. Abominable Snow Monster versus Cross. Oh, that's Scrooged. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Frank Cross.
I am too. I can't just take Bill Murray over the freaking wacko puppet that ate a elf, right?
There was blood on his mouth, right?
Bloody ass mouth. Well, I think there was blood.
There was 100%.
There was blood.
I remember
I think there was
blood.
juicy squirts of blood. He also toppled off a cliff, which is hard to watch as well for a young man.
It is true.
I was like, he's totally dead. Mumbles is dead because he became a good guy at the end after he ate all those out. He was no longer hungry, and look at him. All right, Frank Cross advances. Now we got Mr. Potter versus Ebenezer Scrooge, 2 of the bigger Christmas movie D-bags historically in film.
I go Ebenezer.
I'm Ebenezer all day.
Yeah.
What a great name for a D. Oh, look at Ebenezer. What a dick. All right. Now we're down to Buzz from Home Alone or the Grinch. You're a mean one.
I'm Buzz.
You're a dick. You can't be Buzz over the Grinch.
Not a
just
Grinch
to
guy.
be different.
I'm not a Grinch guy.
Yeah, but how's Buzz even a factor in any of this? Jesus Christ.
He's an ankle biter. Thing.
If somebody else says Buzz, I will tap out. I'm going to go Treylon Burks, Tennessee Titans style. That is ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous shit. I'm telling everyone. Ken loves Buzz from Home Alone over the Grinch. So that
in
dude
terms
who
of
had
villain.
my flat top was just a fat dick is better than Jim Carrey's version of the Grinch.
The Grinch gave all the presents back. He saved the day. He was fine at the end. But Buzz never reformed.
Buzz was in 2 scenes. This is the dickiest conversation of all time. I know. Look, everyone's like, "Come on, Ken.
Okay,
Like we're gonna get out of here on time." And hey, everyone,
flag.
like the coach with 1 minute before practice. Everyone on the end line.
On the end line.
I love this shit. You're a mean
Who
one,
do
Buzz.
you play for? All right,
Buzz. I'm not a Grinch guy, so I'll take the guy with 1 line in the movie.
He was more instrumental than just that 1 line. I think we all understand that.
Look at Buzz reformed too. Now who's the Grinch?
I don't
All
think
right.
he reformed. The
Frank Cross and the Wet Bandits.
we're still talking about all the same movies. I love it.
Frank
I'm Frank Cross.
and I'm Wet Bandits.
All right, someone break.
Oh, doesn't Frank Cross reform in the end? Does anyone not watch these movies?
We have 2 Christmas Carol lead characters in our final 4. Just so we're clear.
Well, if the Wet Bandits wanted to be the Wet Bandits, they never reformed because they became the Sticky Bandits, showing that they didn't reform. And your last guess was built on the non-reformers.
They didn't reform.
No,
they
got glued to the goddamn situation.
They were. Oh, they need.
All right, so someone's gonna have to break the Wet and the Frank Cross. The Wet Bandits versus Frank
And I don't
Cross.
want to do the next matchup until we know who's in the finals.
That's
in
fair.
the first one. So I don't. And whoever says it first wins. I don't know. I do love the Wet Bandits, but I think Frank Cross is the standard bearer.
It's the Wet Bandits are the standard bearer. Frank Cross did his best, but you also went Buzz over Grinch, so you're just trying to.
I'm a Home Alone guy.
That's great, but he's not in the top 12
And I'm not even
characters.
going Home Alone.
He's not even in the top 12 characters in that effing movie.
I wasn't, but none of them were in the matchup. Oh, Buzz. I mean,
He hugs him. He hugs Kevin at the end, you dick. It's Christmas.
He got all the good gear from Buzz's room, and he was like, "Oh, Buzz, your girlfriend." I mean, all of it was so Buzz. It was classic Buzz. Has anyone voted yet on Frank versus non-Buzz? The Buzz Killers.
Well, yeah, we've added 16 minutes to this production due to Ken's last 2 Buzz Killer answers.
I mean,
You're a mean one.
I do love some Home Alone.
Is anybody's ass going to help us, or are we just going to sit here and chug this whiskey all night? Fair enough.
There's a lot of dude. We're huge. Tokyo is off of the board.
Commanders win 31-20. That was mine.
I think we get to over 30 points. I'm gonna say
somebody, please type in.
Someone
Wet
has to say
Bandits
Wet
or
Bandits
Frank Cross. You just
or
have to
Frank
type
Cross.
it in.
Whoosh.
Anyone, somebody.
Anybody. Now this is like really. But by the way, we're YouTubing hard right now. Super YouTubing hard. We're literally trying. We're communicating. By the way, there's a delay. That's the problem. There's a delay. So we have to wait for the delay to finish up.
I do appreciate a good Christmas song. I'm glad it's next week.
Christmas song draft.
Prime
Okay.
time. That's a prime time. All right. Thank you, TRs and Andrew. It's the Wet Bandits.
Done. That is.
Now
tough.
we're down to Ebenezer
Yep.
versus the Grinch. And that's a great matchup. Tried 2 Final Four programs going after the big ring, which they both have a dozen of.
I mean, I wanted Frank Cross to get the.
I think we know what your
Scrooge.
answer is. I don't even if you revert on this, then I'm firing you as the draft guy.
I'm not even.
You should have to come up with them. If you go backwards on everything you just said, that means that you value Buzz. That means that as a GM, you value Buzz over Ebenezer Scrooge, and that will honestly that gets you right out of the league.
I'm saying
you don't
voted
get back into the
for
league.
Frank Cross, who is Ebenezer Scrooge. That's my character, so I'm pulling. I wanted it to be Frank Cross versus Ebenezer Scrooge. That's what I wanted. The lead character in the same story. So bring me Ebenezer to the final all day over the Grinch.
So, by the way, Wet Ebenezer also is a great band name. I just wanted to throw that
It's a
out
good
there.
air band.
Wet Ebenezer. Say it.
Wet Ebenezer.
That's so gross. Don't say it again.
Tonight, and tonight only, in the basement.
Standing room only.
Wet Ebenezer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
$5 drafts.
welcoming Wet Ebenezer. God.
$2 jello shots, $3 shooters. Ladies, drink free.
Oh, man. Can you and Derek switch from twins to Wet Ebenezer?
Wet Ebenezer.
Oh, man. That would be so much fun. All right.
First hit song. Infused Gizzards.
Shout out, G-Berg.
All right.
No
Ebenezer
bias.
versus...
What's up, homeboy?
Ebenezer versus the Wet Bandits.
Yes. Well, hence Wet Ebenezer. What do you think? Was this bullshit?
I gotta come from. You know what? I wanted it to be Frank Cross versus Ebenezer, but I am going to cast my championship vote for the Wet Bandits. And you deserve to have the last vote. I don't, because I've been all over the place here.
I know, and I'm not going to go to the board with this one. As a young man, Ebenezer was definitely, but the Wet Bandits took over.
Wet Bandits.
Wet
What
Bandits,
a great draft.
The Wet Bandits.
Like
It's a Wet Bandit scenario for me. It's a Home Alone scenario.
Of all the banger Christmas villains, I mean, you talk about the Grinch. I mean, all-time great. An all-time great. Didn't have what it took to get past the Wet Bandits tonight.
There's some funny Wet Ebby and the Sticky Scrooges. But I do like the holiday hit for Wet Ebenezer is Moist Christmas.
Moist Christmas.
Moist Christmas. Moist as hell. Ken, it's like a freestyle. You're next. Never mind.
I'll be home. I'll be wet. Ebenezer for Christmas.
Nope. It was. I thought you were gonna hit. I'm dreaming of a moist Christmas.
Of a moist Christmas. Well,
but what you hit, I'm scared about.
Yeah. Well, the Grinch is Greg's all-time favorite character. All right.
I love the Grinch. I would have had the Grinch. Not going up again. The Grinch had some early battles, Greg.
Sure.
The Grinch had to come out of the toughest bracket, I believe. And Ebenezer. Ebenezer and the Grinch. Plus, there's so many Grinches. Plus, Ken distracted me with Buzz.
Plus, EO's wearing his belt buckle muffle toe. Just absolutely killing it in the campsite. Good for you, sir. Hey, we're coming back in 7 days. We're going to talk about this team some more. I hope everyone can appreciate dipping in and then dip it right back out. We're not going to labor over off-season scenarios right now, but they are relevant because they change on a weekly basis. We're going to keep our eye on it. Is Jaden Daniels playing on Sunday?
I think he is.
I think he is too.
I think he is.
He's going out there with Terry. He's going out there with the running back by committee. He's going out there with Zach Ertz. I think our offensive line is good. I feel comfortable putting him behind that offensive line.
I've predicted us to lose 3 straight weeks. I just predicted us to win because I feel the same way you do about what you just said. And I like how we're playing this type of defense. And J.J. McCarthy has been playing quarterback like the elf that the abominable snow monster ate. So let's have Deron Payne and Kinlaw keep abominalizing, and because they've been doing good.
Defense looked really good. We didn't talk about it like that. There's two, I guess. I just to kind of circle the loop because for some the folks in Tokyo who are still on watching, I don't know if this will be appreciated or not, but when Sean Payton called a timeout when Deebo Samuel caught the ball and was tackled by the white cornerback from Denver at the 1. Moss.
When he mossed White Moss?
Yes. White Moss was mossed. Deebo goes down at the 1. We run up to the line, and Peyton calls a timeout, right? And it was kind of like, what's he doing? It was such great coaching. I mean, I know you, whatever, in the moment. He brought on the beef, and it became a 4-yard backyard fight for all the marbles, and it went all the way down to it, right? And so I just have so much. I love watching Sean Payton coach. He always makes fun moves. I mean, the onside kick in the Super Bowl. Him and Drew Brees playing together, for so many years. He's awesome, and if you watch him, even though he's kind of a diva in many regards, he's a main character in the league, and he's so good at what he does. So I don't know. For what it's worth,
he won a Super Bowl, so I can't give him any shit. But I'm not as big of a fan of him as you are.
I mean, I I wish I should know more. Kevin, there was a movie that Kevin James did where he played Sean Payton.
Yes.
Did you watch that?
No.
It was exactly what you think it was. I watched
Sean
it.
Payton was like, I've learned my arrogance from Bill Parcells. I will never stop being a prick. Never.
Kevin James played him as a prick.
I have a really hard time embracing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, good luck out there.
Kevin James.
Plus, he did some weird shit on the internet with all the ecstasies
all of it.
and the New Orleanses and the toe suckings. And sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
Hey, listen, I believe Rex Ryan has the foot territory. Sir.
I just said sorry, and Siri came up.
Siri. We're going to come back in 7 days and talk some skins. We're going to get closer to this holiday season. We're going to keep the Christmas magic coming with Christmas music. Next week, we get your. I'll put this up on the screen.
Yeah, put it up there. Let's come ready to rock. Let's come ready to rock and roll next week and have some fun.
6 songs.
I think it's gonna be a Victory Tuesday.
3 modern board votes for better playlists. Okay, we will knock that out for you, Greg, and with some graphics. Hopefully,
6 classic and 6 modern.
Drafting 6 rounds, 3 classic, 3 modern.
I haven't gotten that one yet.
6 classic. Oh no. Sorry, 12 Christmas songs. 6. You got to. We each have to draft. We each have to have 12 of each because we have to each get 6.
Right.
See, he's thinking through the whole. He hates talking about the draft, but he speaks in draftees. Sorry, Greg. I speak draftees as well, Mister. You can't get that past me. 7 days to 4-9. We're going to embrace it. We're going to love it.
4-9.
That's our goal.
Our
goal is 4-9. Hey, baby steps, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
W. It feels so much better to get a little bit of a W.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Hey, cheers. Awesome, guys. Thank you for tonight. Let's have some fun talking a little Christmas music next week and about a victory.
Can't wait. I'm Ken
Have
Meringolo.
a great week, boys.
Thank God it's Tuesday. We're still live.
Pull up a seat, talking Commanders football, drinking our whiskey neat. First Amendment sports, Ken, Kevin, and Tim. Don't muff it
I wish Hans Gruber made it deeper.
to the Redskins.
He's probably like
he got seeded. He got a shitty seed.
it wasn't even close.
I mean, he didn't. He deserved a shitty seed.
I feel like,
It's questionable if it's even a Christmas movie. I think it is. You think it is, but
I know. I feel like I'm about to get interrogated hardcore about some Christmas character.
dude, Buzz is terribleness.
Thank God it's
Buzz versus Grinch.
I know. I know.
talking Commanders
I don't know.
football, drinking our
Wait, hold on. Bonus content. Bonus content for the 7 people who are still hanging with us. Bonus content.
What the
5
fuck?
minutes.
You've never done this.
I've never done this before. You know why? Because I'm not going to be a guy who complains about refs, and I'm not going to do it now. But I just want to note for the audience, we didn't complain about the refs all night, and when the whole world saw what happened.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Yep, we were verbally and physically molested as fans.
And we didn't say a word.
Worst intentional grounding in the history of the sport.
and we never said a word. That's all I'm saying. We got through a whole show.
Hey, we know how to do it. Thank God it's Tuesday.
I love you guys.
Love y'all.